With that, we go in for Action TV.
On a prior occasion, Action TV exposed the hardships faced by people living adjacent to the Kandy General Hospital as a result of the incineration of clinical waste at the hospital premises. The hospital's administration came to the realization that this should not be done after it was affirmed that the smoke and fumes from the incineration of clinical waste was not only blowing into adjacent homes but also into the hospital itself. Subsequently, the responsibility of disposing of the clinical waste was conferred on the only accepted institution in the country capable of undertaking this task. However, as a result of the hospital failing to make payments, this institution discontinued the disposal of clinical waste from the hospital. Even after the payments were made, the institution informed the authorities that the burden of disposing of clinical waste from the hospital was too great for them to bear, noting that they do not possess sufficient equipment to carry out the disposal of the amount of clinical waste generated by the hospital. Given the lack of an alternative, the hospital administration approached a contractor who lays claim to a portion of land where the waste could be disposed of, although this contractor did not possess the necessary credentials for the disposal of clinical waste. The cause that led to the present situation, where this contractor has been released from the responsibility which has now been conferred on an individual who is incapable of properly disposing of this waste, cannot be belittled. The contractor who was conferred the responsibility of disposing of this waste has been dumping it at various locations. There are numerous instances where the public health inspector attached to the hospital has been able to confirm that clinical waste has even been dumped at water sources. Among the clinical waste disposed of at water sources were vials of anesthetic drugs. Such unsafe situations have been created around public hospitals because the Central Environment Authority has failed to broaden the scope of registering institutions that are capable of properly disposing of non-biodegradable waste. Shouldn't proper procedures be formulated before the problem of disposing of clinical waste becomes a problem that is far graver than the problem of disposing solid waste that is already plaguing the country? Chairman of the Central Environmental Authority, this is over to you.
The Galle Dialogue, a maritime conference, commenced in Galle today with the participation of representatives from 35 countries.
The theme of the fourth Galle Dialogue is Emerging Maritime Trends in the Indian Ocean.
According to the Sri Lanka Navy website, the Galle Dialogue is a platform to discuss and exchange matters of regional maritime security concern. The opening day of the conference was attended by Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Army Commander Major General Jagat Jayasuriya and Navy Commander Vice Admiral Janath Kolambage. The keynote address at the Galle Dialogue was delivered by Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa.
The recently appointed head of the European Union delegation to Sri Lanka, David Daly, speaking exclusively to News First, said that the EU is prepared to share its experience in post-conflict reconciliation with Sri Lanka.
Relations between the EU and Sri Lanka, they're already not bad. They're very good in many respects. I believe a lot in having a good, strong dialogue with partner countries and seeing where we can broaden the range of areas of cooperation that we're doing. We have had many dark chapters in our own European histories, and we very much offer of our experience to other countries. I'm the first to say, however, that you can't just take a photocopy of what the European Union has done and put it down on a map somewhere else in the world. Life is not like that. But having said that, there are parts of the European experience of conflict, post-conflict, reconciliation, where we do have solid experience, and of course we're happy to help Sri Lanka.
Professor Lakshman R. Vatawala says that when providing foreign professional institutions to relocate in Sri Lanka, steps should be taken to secure local business.
Now, the professor made this statement at a seminar on the 2014 budget held today.
A seminar on the 2014 budget organized by the Sri Lanka Chartered Institute of Management Accountants was held in Colombo today.
Give a lot of incentives for international professional firms that will relocate their head offices. My only worry is, as a local body, that whatever that they do, they should not try to take the local business. So if they take the local business, I think it's going to be a big problem for us. So we would really like the idea of having their headquarters here, which will bring all their business, which would be really done from here or could be outsourced, but not try to take local business, because I think these are very important, not only the professional accountants, but any profession. That's an area that we really have to consider, and I am sure that they would have given due consideration to this.
It's an inclusive budget, inclusive consultation, inclusive growth. You know, when we have an inclusive consultation, one issue we find is sometimes you miss something because so many people are talking so many things. Of course, you cannot capture everything. This budget is targeted not to set the prices or not to directly transferring some benefit to the selected groups. Significant factor is budget is to macroeconomic stability. That's what people are asking for. Even farmers are asking stability, the continuity, consistency. That's what they are asking for.
Welcome back to the news. UNP parliamentarian Sajid Premdasa says that the government should take steps to strengthen paddy farmers prior to providing rice to the World Food Programme.
He made this statement during an event held in Lunugambehera.
A special program was held to grant self-employment loans for women in the Ranavaranava area in Lunugambehera. 124 individuals obtained loans from parliamentarian Sajid Premdasa at the event held yesterday. This government, which presented their budget, should consider strengthening the paddy farmers as their duty before they attempt to donate 50,000 metric tons of rice. We should grant a certified price of 40 rupees per kilogram of paddy. There is no mention in the budget about the nutrition pack that is to be given to mothers or the relief granted to children. However, they boast during the budget speech that 50,000 metric tons of rice will be donated to the World Food Programme.
A group of persons have vandalized the Kaliamma Devalaya located in Kalamattu Junction in Vavuniya.
The police say that the group had looted gold jewellery from the Devalaya. According to the police, the individuals had destroyed a number of statues and had also stolen the offerings. Meanwhile, a group of persons had also vandalized the Sri Jnana Vairya Devalaya in Jaffna on the 19th of this month and made off with a statue of Lord Ganesh.
There have been several reports from the north and east of the island of statues in religious places being destroyed. Similarly, there have also been reports of gold jewellery being stolen. There is a story that the families of people who steal religious artifacts will be destroyed. They create their fate. They should stop such acts immediately. Such persons are sinners.
Over 5 days from the 6th of August this year, News First reported on hardships faced by people in Galkadavala, Nildandahinna in Balapane as a result of the lack of access to electricity.
Leader of the Janasetta Peramuna or People's Welfare Front, Venerable Batramulle Sila Ratanathera, has taken steps to provide relief to these people.
In spite of the lack of light by which to study, 4 of the 5 children from the Galkadavala Primary School who sat for the Grade 5 scholarship examination passed with flying colours. Venerable Batramulle Sila Ratanathera, who visited the area recently, said that he would take steps to provide a generator which would provide electricity for the village. Residents of Galkadavala visited the Thera in Batramulle yesterday and held discussions with him. The Thera had informed them that an order had been placed abroad for the generator and that it would be delivered to the area on the 31st of December. In truth, we are especially grateful to the Sirasa Media Network, the Venerable Bhikkhu has carried out the promise made to us even though the political authorities have thus far failed to do so. We are very happy about this. Ministers and MPs who say that they help the poor people have never truly served the people. What I have to say to the ministers who went to serve the innocent and despondent people is this: you have earned enough, now serve and help the people who voted for you.
Nalaka Priyantha Kumarge is among the finalists for V Awards 2013.
Nalaka has played a pivotal role in turning around the fortunes of the village of Meeravatta.
V Awards 2013.
Nalaka Priyantha Kumarage took it upon himself to bring progress to his community, which is far removed from the comforts and conveniences of urban life. He has sacrificed his time and labor to meet the drinking water needs of his people of his village in Meerawata. The support that he renders towards providing the children the area with a proper modern education and proficiency in the English language is admirable, to say the least. Lanka has also succeeded in establishing community halls to meet the needs of the rural populace.
Via Awards 2013.
On to sports news this evening, Sri Lanka cricket announced that Mahela Jayawardene was not considered for selection for the upcoming one-day international and 2020 series against Pakistan.
SLC also announced that spinner Rangana Herath has been rested for the 2020 series.
Sri Lanka's upcoming tour against Pakistan, to be played in the United Arab Emirates, consists of 220 internationals and a 5-match ODI series. Sikuke Prasanna and Kitruan Vitanage have been included in the 14-man squad for the T20 series. Sri Lanka Cricket announced that Rangana Herath has been rested for the T20 series, considering the excessive amount of cricket he had played and the available matches for him in the run-up for the 2015 World Cup. Former captain Mahela Jayawardene, meanwhile, was not considered for selection for the T20 and ODI series. Sri Lanka Cricket in a communique states that Mahela Jayawardene had requested leave for personal reasons. Sikuke Prasanna and Kitruan Vitanage have been included to the ODI side for the series against Pakistan, while Ashan Priyanjana, who was named in the squad for the New Zealand series, has been excluded.
The chairman of the National Olympic Committee, Hemsri Fernando, says that there has been no allegations leveled directly or indirectly at the government through any letter addressed to the International Olympic Committee.
He notes that these letters only state that unfortunately the guidance given by personal associates and advising officers to the Minister of Sports, which have led to certain ad hoc decisions, have affected the independence of some national sports associations.
Now, the chairman of the Olympic Committee made these remarks in response to a communique recently issued by the Ministry of Sports.
In other sports news, youth weightlifter Shashika Ekanayaka lifted his way through dire hardships to win a gold medal at the Commonwealth Youth Weightlifting Championships in Malaysia.
A student of Malyadeva Model School in Kurunegala, Shashika Ekanayaka completed the 50 kg weight class category at the Commonwealth Youth Weightlifting Championships. Shashika lifted a weight of 83 kg in the snatch method and then went on to lift 114 kg in the clean and jerk method to win gold. Incidentally, the weight lifted by Shashika in the clean and jerk method is a Commonwealth Youth weightlifting record. This is not the only international achievement by Shashika. He also boasts of a silver medal at the World Youth Weightlifting Championships in Uzbekistan and is the first Sri Lankan to have won a medal at a World Weightlifting Championship.
And that's a wrap of primetime news for tonight. For the News First team, I'm Ramesh Bandara.
And I'm Nicola D'Souza, and we leave you tonight with a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. Take care and good night.
First at 9. Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.